Yeah, you know what it is. Welcome to the best coast. Yo, it's Bronze Age nerd with that collecting elite. Big B McFly steady bringing the vintage heat. Pull up a seat, we diving in the stacks. Silver to the bronze, got the knowledge on tap. From Kirby's Kings to the mutants, wow. We breaking it down in that laid back style. So grab your snacks, let the panels unfold. This is comic book chilling with the stories we told. Comic book vibes, we flipping them pages. Legends and lore from all the ages. Golden to the modern, we talk that news. With Big B McFly and the nerd cut loose. Yo, you tune into that Bronze Age flow. Where comics live and legends grow. Big B McFly in the cut, let's fly. Best coast, baby, comics are what saved me. Big B, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Best Coast Comics. I'm your host, Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd. I'm joined by my co-host, as always,
Austin Powers,
the spy who shagged me, international man of mystery himself.
Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah, Big B McFly, the comic guy. Glad to be here, guys. Thank you for everybody who is here.
Yeah, got a great show coming up. We're going to be talking about a very important topic, which is whether or not comic books can change the world. And we mean that on a small scale and a big scale, and have some interesting perspectives, I think, tonight to talk about that. Plus, we have our other segments that we're going to do. We're going to talk about stuff we picked up recently. We're going to talk about community artwork. We have some amazing community artwork this week. There's tons and tons of great pieces that you're going to enjoy seeing. And we also have some comic book related news to talk about as well, of course. So we just want to, just take a second to welcome everybody on the show. Let you know we are streaming on multiple channels, including my channel. Austin Powers himself has his own channel, Big B McFly, the comic guy, and over on the EXP as well. I just want to point out you can follow all those channels down below. The EXP actually has an event coming up pretty soon. Jason Fabic will be on the Order Up show on Friday at 1 Eastern, 12 Central. So definitely go check that out too if you want to see an awesome guest over there. But you can follow all those channels in the description below. So let's say hello to everybody who dropped in here. We got GT Key Comic with his emojis of awesomeness. How have they changed his life? Let's see. I am in serious credit card debt. This is apparently really serious. Sorry to laugh. That's a problem.
That's the thing.
Change for you. GT Richard, how's it going? Derek gets the honorable bronze medal for this week. What's up, Derek? How you doing? And Hydra Asylum coming in with that. We'll call it the platinum. We'll call it the platinum plan. We got Wonkington as well. What's up, Wonkington? So yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Big B was telling me before the show he's got some stuff he wants to show off. So I think we'll do that first, and then we'll get into our community artwork that we'd like to show off this week.
Before we do that, I want to say the thing that everybody always says on YouTube, the like, comment, subscribe thing, but also now there's the new thing, the hype thing, which I think worked because I used it on you and the EXP last week, and I think some other people used it on us, and I think that helped boost our viewership. So if you guys can hype the video, that'd be awesome.
So for those of us that don't know, like me, what does that entail?
So you get points for doing those chat things. They give you points when you're in the chat now, and you can use those points to hype videos. So
okay, so you get the little things and they show up at the top of your chat, and then you click on it or something when you have enough, or
no, it just will say when you go to click on a video, it'll say hype this video. Okay, there's a little button if you have points, and you can use it. So nice.
I like it. If you guys want to hype the video,
yep.
We'd love for you to be our hype people.
Our hype men.
Exactly.
So I have a few books to show. I got to tell you guys that this is kind of a seriously big, huge thank you to my buddy Travis, Comics Limited. He does a weekly Whatnot show, and I've been going down when I can and hanging out at his house, helping him dig for books and such. And I got there this Sunday, and he said, "Hey, could you do pre-bids on stuff you're interested in? Because pre-bids helps drive people to the show, right?" So I went in and did $1 pre-bids on him. He had a bunch of dollar starts. On variant covers, he had a lot of bronze and silver, copper, like nice condition books, starting at $1. And I won a ton of them. So I will show you guys. So first book up, Adventure Comics. What issue number is this? 443. Nice. Yeah, it's got a little crease up here in the corner, but cool Bronze Age book.
Right on.
I love me some Arthur Adams. So an Arthur Adams variant cover for Batman number 50, the Tom King run.
Right on.
Keep in mind these are $1. That's a variant cover. That's a ratio variant. He just gave me out of the kindness of his heart this really cool black cat with a newer issue.
Is that a Hughes cover?
It looks like Hughes.
Or Dodson, maybe?
I don't know. I don't think it's either one, but maybe.
Oh, it could be Villa Lobos. Kind of looks like Hughes or one too. I think it might be Villa Lobos.
Yeah, it's a really nice cover. Awesome detail. Love the cityscape in the background and everything. But
yeah,
very cool. All right, you're not gonna believe this one. This was $1. How about some nice high grade Jack Kirby Demon for $1?
Not bad.
That is the Demon 16. So yeah. Deadpool Assassins number 2 variant cover. This was a ratio variant for Department of Truth. $1.
Right on.
And you guys know modern comics, like they're like, $5-6 cover price, right? 4, 5, 6. Destro number 1.
Right on.
Yo Joe.
Cobra.
Destro number 2. I love that remix that guy did. It was great.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Instagram.
Little,
so Destro number 2.
Little DJ did a remix of the Cobra G.I. Joe themes.
Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon. Kind of a cool little cover there. It's a big, fat, thick boy. Hickman's Doom.
Oh wow.
I mean, guys, go over there on Sunday and check him out because, like, Extreme Carnage number 1 alpha variant cover. Genis Vell, Peach Momoko number 1 variant. I mean, just insane. I don't know. I don't want to bore you guys with showing a bunch of covers, but I mean, some crazy G.I. Joe. Was this number 2? G.I. Joe number 4. Variant cover for G.I. Joe number 4. Some 80s Brian Boland Judge Dredd number 2.
Nice.
This one, I love this one. This is just amazing. Aaron Kruder Marauders number 1 variant cover, ratio variant. Storm. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
New York Comic Con exclusive Marvel Legacy, the Ghost Rider from 10 million BC. I love that. That's pretty cool. Love that idea. Marvel Point 1. This one was a key, I'm pretty sure. This is the variant cover to the key.
It's like the first Sam Alexander Nova or something.
Something like that, yeah. He's like, it's going, and he's like, guys, this is like a $25 book, and $1.
Wow.
This is the first cover appearance of, who is it? It's one of those, either Sam or I think it's either Sam or America Chavez, maybe, just in one of the photos that he's throwing out there. Love me some Arthur Adams goodness. Super high grade copy of the New Mutants special by Arthur Adams. Just insane for $1. This is they've reprinted this a couple times. This is the first facsimile, New Mutants 98. So it's kind of a higher value facsimile, but a book. Some Poison Ivy covers. I don't know if they're, one of them's a variant, I think, but the other one's regular. So, but pretty artwork. And like a lot of like really recent stuff, like Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. Star Wars Empire. Older book. War of the Bounty Hunters Prelude. Unworthy Thor #1. The Venom #23 spoiler variant, when they had Black Widow become Venom. That was a pretty hot book for a while.
You like a short box, man?
I got like 28 books, 29 books, something like that. Void Rivals, the Witchblade. This is the facsimile that they just did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, that's a cool book.
Laura Kinney Wolverine #1. The Wolverines and Deadpool. So it's the male and female Wolverine and Deadpool, the variant cover for that. And then as a buyer's giveaway, he gave me a 9.8 Harley Quinn sketch cover blank variant. I don't know why somebody would get it graded without having a sketch on it, but it's a 9.8 Harley Quinn #1.
My favorite variant of those are the ones that like they're signed and that's it.
Right. So just insane. He's super generous, guys. I just want to say thank you to Trav and like just encourage you guys to go over there. And then I was digging through building some stuff for I've got like a little kiosk at the local game store. And today I found a couple things. And so I know, Chris, you showed off a book that you were proud that your daughter had picked out. Mm-hmm. So she had picked out Future Foundation #2. So I found you a Future Foundation #1.
It's so awesome.
And a Future Foundation #3 in my books. So those are going to go to you for
thank you, man. Yeah, she can actually read the whole story.
And then I know you're a big Gen 13 fan. Do you have this Gen 13 zine?
I don't have that. No.
So it's Campbell.
I've seen it.
Art on the cover, and then the inside is a bunch of Campbell sketches and Jim Lee sketches and stuff. So nice. This is coming your way if you want it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Totally.
I might have to keep this, but I got to show the art on this. I just didn't realize, like, do you know Gen 13 Ordinary Heroes?
Yeah.
Do you know who drew it?
Hughes, right?
Yeah. Did you know he drew the entire inside?
Yeah.
I had no idea he drew the entire inside. Like the splash page is just insane. Like that.
Yeah, man.
Like, holy crap. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that was around the time that he was doing like covers and
interiors, right?
Yeah,
I was just like, holy crap. So those were I was going through a box of 90s books and 13 Ordinary Heroes 1 and 2. I figure you probably already have that. So
yeah, I think I have 1. I'm not sure if I have 2, but I probably do.
So this is the cover for 2.
Yeah, I think it looks familiar.
And then I just said I love me some Arthur Adams. I totally forgot that he did Gen 13 Monkey Man and O'Brien. He totally did the entire run of on the inside and everything. So we got #1 and #2.
Nice.
So, yeah, just some cool stuff. Just some retro stuff that was just I get collections and I stash them away to do something with them later. And I was like, oh, a bunch of 90s books, and I was kind of stripping the nasty bags off of them, and I go, oh wow, that's Adam Hughes all the way through.
Nothing like finding some Adam Hughes and Arthur Adams stuff in your collection you forgot about or didn't know about.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun. So anyway, sorry for the long-winded show off.
Oh no, it's cool, man. It's a lot of good pickups. Yeah, and I actually got a few things this week too, but it's weird. All my things I got this week were sent to me by an old employee. And I was a general manager at Regal a long time ago. I had an assistant manager who's kind of followed me ever since then on social media or whatever, and watches my show, watches us, and watches my channel. So shout out to David. I'm going to show off some of the stuff he sent in to me. He just said, hey, I've got a bunch of this stuff from kicking around from when I collected. First thing I'll show you is not a comic book, but it's pretty cool and it's timely, actually. I'll give you some hints. So there's this ad on one part of it for Stripes. I have no idea what the hell this is. I've never heard of this before.
This is a 80s horror movie.
I've never seen that. So anybody might know, feel free to speak up. Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams. Still not the final poster. Because the final poster is...
Oh, wow.
Metal.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat. And there's some heavy metal in the news, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But yeah, I just kind of showed you some of the stuff. I've never even heard of it, Hydra Asylum. Kind of just some of the stuff that he sent me as kind of the highlights here. There was a newsstand X Factor #1.
That's cool.
Pitt 1, first appearance of Pitt, Dale Keown.
Very cool. I love
Nice.
Keown's artwork. His stuff is amazing.
Spidey 1. This was actually my favorite one that was in here just because I don't have it. It's one I've been meaning to grab. I have the other Punisher 1, but not this one, so got to get that. I've always laughed at the idea of him just holding a law rocket and getting ready to fire it into an apartment that he's 2 feet away from. We just talked about this recently, so kind of fun to see this come up. A Wolverine 2.
Yeah. That Punisher, he has 5 fingers on one of his hands.
Well, that's good. He's supposed to have 5 fingers on one of his hands.
No, 5 fingers and a thumb.
Oh, I got you. Okay, yeah. It's his hand holding the gun, right? And then first Proteus.
Wow. Some
That's kinda
burn.
cool. Yeah. Speaking of like little sketchbooks and the Gen 13 zine, got Cliffhanger 0 there with some Campbell
cool.
and Madureira and Ramos.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of the bigger stuff, but there's a couple other cool things, and I'll just show them real fast. But he had a lot of the Dark Horse Conan, so I just pulled 0, which is kind of neat. And then I love the other 2. This one, I didn't realize Campbell did the cover for #1.
Wow. That's it. That's it. Is that a variant? That #1 with the Campbell cover?
I think that's actually the original cover. And then there's a second printing variant too. And then this is a Joseph Michael Linsner cover that I think is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, Linsner's done a bunch of Conan. His covers are amazing. Did you happen to have the Tatas cover in there?
No, it's kind of stopped around issue like 12 or something. First General Grievous, Free Comic Book Day.
Nice.
First Beacon Glob. And Gunslinger Dark Tower #1 with some awesome Jay Lee artwork throughout. And then this was in there, which I thought was kind of neat too. It's the Batman Spawn War Devil, but it's triple signed.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, so this one's signed by Chuck Dixon, Alan Grant, and Doug Minch. So
that's super
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Anyways, just pretty cool. Just totally didn't expect. He said, "Hey, I've got some stuff I could send you." Didn't really say what was in there. I was like, "Yeah, sure, send it over." And just it was a couple binders full of comics with like those BCW pages that had been stored there probably since the early 2000s or whatever. And yeah, it was just fun kind of digging through that. So thanks, David. There's a whole bunch of other stuff too. A lot of it's going to end up in either claim sales or Heroes for Heroes kind of stuff too that I'll put out there. And some of these might too. I got to figure out which ones I really want to hold on to. But huge shout out to David. Thanks for doing that, man. That was really awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Very, very fun to get that from, just a connection that you didn't expect to, I just Facebook post basically most of these days, but hey, that was neat. So let's see, we should probably talk about some of this amazing community artwork that we received. Don't you think?
Right. Yeah. We're trying to move that closer to the front of the show so we can get that out there so everyone can see it right away.
Yeah. So let's check out this.
From you to us, it's art for all. At Best Coast Comics, we answer the call. Fans and creators, bold and smart. Join the line for Comic Con.
So
Those
we got
pieces
some
are amazing.
I mean, like jaw-dropping, amazing artwork to share this week. First one was a last-minute submission from Actual Dracula, doing this killer Venom piece. That is
That
great.
one's awesome. Makes me think of like a killer whale almost.
Yep, got very much an orca vibe to it.
Right.
Ooh, a little piece from Bigby here. You want to talk about this, man?
Yeah, that's going to be a piece for Comics Curing Cancer. I actually have the piece right here, but I did a little shading on it. I've done some videos where I didn't have the shading, so yeah, that's kind of a wraparound thing too, so it goes all the way from the back all the way to the front. So her hair kind of comes around and does the. Oh, there you go. Got the picture.
Yeah, I love the the heart on the background there too, on the back. That's great. Yeah, heart shaped box, exactly.
There we go.
What's
Yeah,
up,
so it's going to be
David?
Christina Payne sent a bunch of those hearts out to different artists, and they're going to be auctioning those off for Comics Curing Cancer. So
one of these days there'll be something on there.
Hey, there's one that's going to have a Bronze Age nerd thing on it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do Firestar on that one since she's a cancer survivor. I thought that seemed appropriate.
Really good. That's a good call, man.
Yeah. Great job, Big B. This is gonna be awesome. Can't wait to see how much money that raises for Comics Curing Cancer. That's awesome. You're doing that.
Yeah, I love it. I'm happy with it now. You're happy with it when you're like, man, I kind of want to keep this.
Well, you can always bid on it, right?
Right, I could always bid on my own art, right? There you
go. We got CJ and KJ or CJ Designs on Instagram coming in with this. I'm guessing that's Red Sonja maybe, but
he didn't elaborate, but he said he's going to be inking on that. So
nice.
Yeah,
kind of a work in progress then there. We'll see if he sends in the final piece. That's funny. This is from Comic Tropes, dude. I was just watching his show over on Comic Tropes After Dark. Oops, skipped ahead by mistake there. Sorry. Give you a little teaser of what's coming next. He was doing an awesome job he was doing a Storm Shadow piece over there. He was trying out some new type of like paint pens on it, trying to mix up some coloring stuff, but this is awesome.
Yeah, so good, man. Chris, good job.
Fantastic work.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Hey, speaking of
Comics Limited, let's supplied all those awesome comics to Big B, or most of them at least. And you can check out his artwork over at Comics Limited on Instagram and all his whatnot and all that kind of stuff. Great job on this.
I will let the cat out of the bag on that piece. That is a piece that was a thank you to somebody on Whatnot. He did a sketch cover for them just as a thank you for being a buyer. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
very nice. This automatically wins for me as best piece of the week, though. Dominic Gomez coming in with some Cyclops and doing a fantastic job on it too. I really
sucking up to the host.
Well, I mean, he knows his audience, right? Like, I mean, that's
right.
I mean, he is the best character of all time. So
I really like that piece. So he did a great job.
Good fantastic job, work, dude. I'm hella in love with that one. This is from Edward Lilly. Edward Lilly coming in with some hotness here.
Yeah, I guess that's the first page from his book that he's going to be coming out with. If you check him out on Instagram, he's starting to get ready to do crowdfunding for his book. So that's the very first page for the book.
Very nice. Very nice. Getting some, I don't know, John Carter of Mars kind of vibes from it or something like that, even though it's obviously different. But
that's beautiful artwork, man.
Yeah.
And that guy is fast. If you watch him he does art shows on YouTube, like tutorials for figure drawing and stuff. Just like doing warm-ups and stuff. He's so fast.
Got Elliot Wright coming in with some Crow, which we were just talking about last week as well.
Right.
That's cool. Love that.
He did a really good job on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. I like the character, the version on the bottom a lot too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. Irwin just crushing it like the Juggernaut, man. Love it. That is so cool. That is so great, man. Now Irwin's just been drawing all these huge guys, and I'm just all over it. It's great.
When we get regular artists, I start every week or every other week. I'll hit them up and be like, "Hey, do you have anything new you want me to show or to share?" And Irwin was like, "Hey, you ready? Here it comes." He's like, "Is it okay to give you more than one?" I'm like, "Sure." It was the art bomb. I was blown away. So there is going to be Irwin for a long time, and it is great
Nice.
stuff. Yeah.
I love it. Headless Hammerhead coming in.
Wow.
This is just really creepy and cool. Little E.
Love
Laverne
it.
sketch cover here. Dig it. Dig it.
So good. That is really creepy.
Got our second Venom of the week. Izzyverse coming in with a great sketch cover. Izzyverse
really
NYC. Go check him out on YouTube and on Instagram.
Yeah, Izzy,
Love
Heroes for Heroes. Love all these guys. Heroes for Heroes.
Almost all of them, it seems like at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So glad to finally get him a piece on the, other than his G.I. Joe that he did the other day, a piece on the community art.
Yeah. And we got James Foster coming in. It's clobbering time, man.
Right.
I love it.
Good work, James.
No, this is where we're gonna get a strike for, Chad. Look at this. Look at this fire piece. Talking about showing jugs.
Right.
This is from Rad Art and Comics. Man, his last like 4 or 5 pieces I've seen from him have just been blown.
Yeah,
away.
phenomenal. Yeah,
I think this one was a commission too.
yeah.
So just doing great, man. And then obviously, you know, this character kind of blew up after Peacemaker had a cameo, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing great, man. Okay, so this
part
is
of it.
Showtell Comics.
Yeah, and this
has
is
a
part
little bit
our
of a
theme,
story, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you tell the story, man, because I know you got the message.
Yeah, so I put out in a few of the chat groups that I'm in that we were going to be doing a show about how comics has changed your life, or how comics can change the world. And Showtell reached out and said, "Hey, funny that you mentioned that." He's like, "This is the character of the comic that I was reading that made me decide that I wanted to pursue a career in art." And I happened to be doing a piece on Black Panther. So there it is. And it's just beautiful piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait to see this thing finished. That's stunning.
Yeah, really, really nice. So very good stuff. If you guys haven't checked him out, check him out on Instagram. Really beautiful artwork.
Yeah, it's SHOTELL. So Showtell Comics. Love it. Side Quest Comics, Eric coming in with some is that like
I think that's Hellraiser. You got the
Hellraiser?
box
Yeah.
there, right? Yeah, she's
that's what I
holding the
thought
box.
too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like an official character in the movies. I think I've only watched like the first couple or something, but
Right.
very cool.
Yeah, very good. Super good. Good job, Eric.
And another person who's been inspired to draw, you know, from watching us, and we always love to see that. Steve Driscoll coming in with the Batwoman. I'll kind of zoom in on that a little bit.
Right. Nice
just
job.
love seeing that he's keeping at it, you know, he's just drawing.
Yeah, he wrote me like a really lengthy kind of exposition on his thought process of drawing and the experience that he's getting. And he's
cool.
retired, so he's able to spend more time drawing every day, and he really enjoys that. He's finding it relaxing, and it's cool. He's learning new things.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. Like, if he keeps doing this for a while, it'll be fun, like looking back on some of his early stuff and then
Seeing the progression
he's made.
Right. Oh
so,
my goodness.
Yeah, man. Yevgeny Sokolov, who we've talked about the last couple of weeks and shared some pieces. Damn.
Yeah, holy crap, right?
Yeah.
Wow. A little Judge Dredd action going on there. Or Judge Anderson, I believe. But yeah, and Judge Death. But oh my gosh. So good.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, guys, check him out on Instagram. He's taking commissions. I mean, wow.
I'm gonna have to hit him up at some point, man. He keeps sending some great stuff in.
Yeah, he did that X-Men piece last week. And,
yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Dredd,
that was killer.
You led off the inning here with the
yeah, we showed your Venom first. In fact, in a way, I'll kind of show it again because I want to mention something that I did a little bit earlier before the show. So this is on my Discord server, Bronze Age Nerd Discord server.
That's right.
So this is, for a long time, this is how Big B and I were keeping track of the different pieces we were going to show off, and kind of like, getting them in one place so that I could get them all presented for the show. And last week I ended up not having time to do that, and I just showed the Discord server, and it just kind of occurred to me that, oh, I could go through here and just make this channel public. So it's now a public facing channel on my Discord server. If you want to go take a look at it, you can. You can upload your artwork to it if that's the way you want to get it to us. I just ask that you try to limit it to one piece a week. Other than that, it's a great way to go check out if you wanted to, see some of the artwork that we have showed off in more detail. I mean, going all the way back to the beginning of our show, it would take a long time to scroll up there, but a lot of
every piece that we've ever showed on the show.
Yeah, with like maybe one or two exceptions or something from things that fell through the crack, but yeah, just some great stuff. And gosh, I'm only back to May here, so you just keep going. You can see all that great artwork. So I'll paste the link into the chat here in a second. If anybody wants to join the Discord server, they're more than welcome to. I'd love to see you in there, and hey, maybe you can share some of your artwork with us, or just check out some of the great stuff that we have on there.
And if you see a piece and then you're like, who was that? You can just go to the Discord server and take a look.
Yeah.
And follow up with them.
And it's also a good place to check out updates for Heroes, the news segments that we're going to cover on the show. I usually paste them in here during the week, and other kind of stuff
there, right? There's like trade stuff. It's a really cool little community page.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff on here. A lot of cool connections have been made and everything too. Like, people are sharing their Kickstarters that have been viewers of mine for years, that they're starting up like Kickstarters and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's our community artwork. If you'd like to share the community artwork that you have with us, you can either get in touch with Big B or I through direct messaging, DM, that kind of thing, or you could go to the Discord page I just showed and share it that way. Either way, whatever works for you.
Right.
With that said, we have some news to cover, folks. So if you know anything about us, you know that we take news very seriously and professionally around here.
Those handsome fellas.
Handsome fellas. So first news story, not super comic related, but I saw this shortly before the show happened, and I just wanted to share this. Graham Greene, an actor that I've followed most of my life, it feels like, since at least the early 90s, back when he was in Dances with Wolves, passed away. So that's just really sad, and and I just thought it was something that affected me a lot when I saw it, so thought I'd share it.
He's been in a lot of great movies.
Yeah, Green Mile, just a lot of great stuff. Die Hard, with a Vengeance, Wind River, Thunderheart, that's a movie I need to go back and watch. So just not like a majorly comically related thing, but pop culture related. We talk about movies sometimes, so I thought it was kind of sad to see.
Right.
So this next story is kind of the weirdest story that I have to share. So police were called on an artist that was accused of selling AI art at Dragon Con. And I want to point out this actually follows on the heels of something that I was following. I follow one of the people that's responsible for putting on Fan Expo and for organizing it. And they were sharing that there was at Fan Expo Toronto, I want to say, there was kind of a hoopla about an AI photo booth that was kind of like AI caricatures or whatever, that was kind of off the artist alley section. And it kind of created a stink. Well, then shortly after that happens, this happens. So what happened here is pretty interesting. So an artist was in Dragon Con, which is in Atlanta this weekend, was asked to pack up their table The police were present there. They were asked to escort him off the premises because they were suspected of offering up stolen AI artwork that they were passing off as their own. Interesting. Their social media post didn't seem too apologetic. I'd share a screenshot of my sales this weekend, but don't have to show it to give any explanation to you losers. You guys are sore because you don't sell shit and will forever be broke. Have fun being a broke bitch.
Wow.
So there's the hot take on how to apologize.
Oh, that is yikes. What did the picture? It said he was for selling AI art, and then somebody taped something over the art on the second picture. I don't want to. What does it say? AI.
El Bozo. All my homies hate AI. AI images over art is what it says.
Images. Okay.
Yeah. Which I like how that somebody corrected that. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's and I think this is the article about Fan Expo. Yeah, in this case, this is kind of weird. I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but and I didn't have time to read this article, obviously, but the police were called here against the protesters. They were protesting the AI booth, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know really how this one got resolved, but I guess it was like you got your photo taken and then you could put it like essentially through an AI filter kind of a thing is what it looked like. So one person, Aaron Reynolds, creator of Effin' Birds webcomic, posted the police officer was the best and most reasonable person in this entire thing. He understood the issue, asked what we wanted, told us what the show wanted, and brokered us a trade where most people would disperse if you let us talk to the manager of the booth. Yeah, it says neither Fan Expo Canada or the Bell Company have issued any statement regarding the decision to include AI generated products to the show. However, I know that the person I follow who is a higher up at Fan Expo and in charge of like the comic booking, I think is what he does basically, made some comments about it and just kind of, it's one of those things where they weren't aware beforehand, according to him, that it was going to be an AI generated booth. So it kind of could have been handled better. I think it's what they said in their own words, but it wasn't something that was planned. So,
gotcha.
Geez, just crazy. So, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't say. I just said right.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't hear. I thought you were trying to say something. So the AI keeps coming. As I just was talking about this over on Comic Tropes After Dark in the chat with him as he was mentioning it. So Tom Brevoort was just kind of posting about how AI is pretty fun to use and believes that stopping its spread is futile. He acknowledged our artists' concern over AI remixing creative work without credit or payment. And then he was kind of talking about how he'd messed around with Gemini, which is Google's AI program. And he'd created like this image. I do like how Bleeding Cool said this is AI generated image, copyright no one. Obviously he's kind of doing some graphic design. It's about Tom Brevoort here, and the next thing is like a little logo that he made with AI. So on one hand, where I come off of this is he's doing it for himself, about himself. He was talking about messing around with it, which I think is good. I think it's good for people to be aware of what it can do, especially somebody in his position. You're going to want to be educated on what it is and how to spot it. Maybe the weird part to me is that you're somebody who's I think Chris said this very well, and I totally agree. You're somebody who's in charge of hiring artists and writers for one of the biggest comic book companies in the world, and you're out there basically kind of saying like, yeah, it seems okay. It seems like kind of fun to mess around with. And there you go.
Well, we kind of talked about that when we've had a discussion before where we've talked to some artists who say that you need to kind of like, was it the horse and buggy people were upset when the automobile came along, right? But it's like they're starting to use some of those tools to assist in doing some things, not doing the art itself, but do some things and trying to learn. And yeah, I've noticed like it's really interesting that we had a lot of like outcry against AI a while ago, and now I'm starting to see it like more and more adopted by people, like where they're taking it and using it to animate images and stuff.
Yeah.
And posting content using that. And people seem to be like, oh, that's cool. It's like, yeah, that's AI.
So this is interesting. You know, for those that don't know, actual Dracula is Canadian. He was saying he didn't see the AI stuff at Fan Expo Toronto. Artist Alley was so overly congested, I pretty much avoided it. It's almost as if they keep shrinking the aisles. And then about the AI stuff specifically, I do agree that trying to stop it is likely futile. It's not going anywhere. I don't use it, but at this point, I'm not going to chastise someone if they do. I don't personally feel threatened by it. I'll just keep doing my own thing. And I think that's a very mature attitude.
Yeah.
For me, it's more about making sure, is it ethical in that you're not trying to pass it off as your own original creation. That's, I think, a very important part of it.
Right.
And not using generated images that are likely stealing from artists that have already completed that work and aren't going to be credited for it and aren't going to be compensated for it. I think that's an important part to consider. Comic Trips just dropped in and said, hey, sorry to drop in so late. Chris, we were just talking about the conversation about Tom Brevoort over on your show and kind of were dovetailing with some of the things that you'd brought up about some of the concerns. Yeah, I've kind of come out and said, I'm saying he's not completely against AI. We've used elements of AI to create certain parts of this show. I myself am a completely AI construct. But at the same time, it's like I'm also not gonna sit here and lie about it's what parts are AI and aren't AI. I'm not gonna sit here and try to say like, oh, that's something I completely did on my own. Like, I'm also not making a comic book of it. Hey, what's up, Queen Tar? How's it going? Nice of you to drop in. The beard is so lifelike.
I've seen you got to watch out though. I've seen videos where it looks completely like it's, and then at the very end, the person talking will say, "And by the way, I am completely AI," and then
it's gotten crazy.
It's like,
it's gotten
what?
really crazy. Yeah, it's one of those things where I think that, and it's just going to get more realistic as time goes on. That's the real truth of the matter.
It's scary. I've seen some creators have been posting about some of the newest rollouts that are coming, and they just said, look, I took this photo of me and then I spoke these lines they asked me to speak, just so it could get the gist of my voice.
Yeah.
And then I typed out a script and it animated the photo and had me talking with my voice doing the entire video, and I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like attribution, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
attributing correctly, I think, is kind of the biggest area I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And then you leave it up to consumers to decide, like, okay, I understand that part of this was produced using AI and I can choose to support that or not.
Right.
I think that's kind of a big step.
I just think the only reason I said the thing I said earlier was it's interesting to see people are starting to adapt or adopt those things and use them, and everyone's just kind of like Drac was saying, like, okay, if you choose to use that, that's cool.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting.
It's certainly not going away, but I feel like that that doesn't mean that we have to prevent ourselves from drawing lines in the sand about what is acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Right.
I did think this was pretty cool too. Totally switching gears away from the AI topics for a second. So this is from ICV2. The final Muppets variant covers, or at least an extra set of them, have been revealed.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's going to be here's the list of comic books that are going to feature it.
I
How
love
great
it.
is that? How great is that?
So good.
I love that one. That's Cassera, Joshua Cassera. This one is Javier Garon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, AF-15 homage there. Love it. It's awesome.
So good.
Paco Medina does this Infinity. Make that fit the whole story about that. The formatting is a little odd. Make that fit the whole screen there. Paco Medina doing the Infinity Gauntlet homage. It's great. It's just awesome. It gets better the longer you look at it.
Love it.
And then Nick Bradshaw doing Secret Wars 8.
Rolf.
I love it. Yeah, who's your favorite Muppet, Big B?
I always liked Animal.
Animal?
Yeah, I thought he was pretty cool.
Animal's pretty good. I like Swedish Chef has become like a modern favorite of mine.
Yeah.
There's all those great like YouTube shorts. I don't think they're actually from the show, but like where he's like trying to cook and like everything goes insane. Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to. Kermit's just the best, though, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's like who's your favorite Disney characters? Mickey Mouse is always going to be probably number one, right?
Yeah. Fozzie and Swedish Chefs. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Fozzie's great too. But yeah, that's kind of what I had for news this week. I know a lot of other stuff happened, but I just kind of wanted to get into our topic, which is it's kind of started. It's a little tongue in cheek to talk about, can comics change the world? The real idea was kind of like, have comics changed your life, and can comics change your life? And the reason I upped the level on it is because I think the answer to that question is, of course they can, because I've seen so many people whose lives have been changed by comic books. And we're going to talk a little bit about it on the micro level of like, have comics changed your life? But I think we can also talk about it on the macro level of, can comics change the world? And I have at least one anecdote that I can't wait to share kind of near the end of when we're talking about this, probably, about how comic books can change your life. And the world for that matter. So Bigby, I want to go to you first on this one. Have comic books changed your life?
Absolutely. Yeah. They've totally changed my life. The people that I've met, the lessons about life and being a good person, sacrifice, all the different things, that you learn through reading comics, kind of just like, if you want to not imitate your heroes, but, to kind of have that same mindset, so you kind of go, oh, that's really cool that he did that. I want to live my life that way. And it's not your hero isn't really doing it. It's a writer that's writing it. Right. But it's good. I think that that's a way that comics can impact the world positively, not just me, but other people as well. So, and then just, art and the community, and financially, I owned 2 comic shops for a long time. So that was, that very much impacted my life.
Yeah.
And just the people that I've met over the entire time. It's just, it's insane how much comics have affected my life. So,
yeah. Queen, that is by the way, that's a fantastic question. So I hang out with Queen over on Drew Goodhelp's channel, which is he's a gaming guy. He does like a lot of stuff like playing this game for the first time, and then if he likes the game, he kind of sticks around with it.
Cool.
This is a really good question, because I know you're not primarily a comic books fan from what I remember. Do you think since Stan Lee is gone, is it going to affect the Marvel comics in a good way or a bad way? Like, do you think it's going to make the morals behind them change as well? And I actually think that might be the most interesting part of that question, because I know Stan always liked to have a moral behind the comics that he wrote. The answer that I'll say is, I think that he probably was very, very little involved with most day-to-day comic writing for a very long time, even before his death. But I think some of the culture that he helped create at Marvel lives on, and I think that's probably where you're going to see most of that kind of sticking around as time goes on. But
Yeah, I think he created, like you say, a culture, a mindset of like a positive message or a message or morals in every story. And so
yeah, absolutely. Ooh, some love for Bunsen and Beaker there from Mr. Science Snake. What's up, Mr. Science Snake? Hey, how's it going, Murdoch? Yeah, and I think your story about how comics have affected your life. I mean, owning a couple shops. I mean, that's slam dunk. That's going to affect your life right there.
Right.
I think any comic book fan, anybody who really reads comic books, it's probably going to affect their life in some way, whether or not that's escapism or creative outlet. I think that's just a natural extension of being a comic book reader. Just honestly, in the same way that being like a movie lover or being a video game fan, any of those kinds of things, anything where you can get lost in a world. If you read a lot of science fiction or romance novels or mystery books or whatever it is, you'll feel the same way too, probably about that.
Right.
So I think even just on a very surface level, it's probably going to affect most people's lives if they're into it.
Right.
Needless to say, whether or not they're a professional or involved in the industry or create their own comic books or that kind of a thing too. But this isn't really a personal story for me so much as it is what I've gleaned from talking to lots and lots and lots of comic book readers, especially since I've had the YouTube channel and shared a lot of stuff about the like psychology of collecting, and by extension talked about what it's like for collectors and what it's done for them. And part of that is a lot of people that read comic books deal with mental illness, mental health problems. And comic books have, when I mentioned escapism earlier, it's been an outlet for a lot of people who have had a lot of hard issues to get away from them for a little while into in a lot of ways, like an idealized world.
Yeah.
And that can be a very positive thing. If everything around you seems dark and bleak and depressing, jumping into a world that is highly imaginative or is about people saving the day or creating a better world can be extremely appealing and can be very positive in your life. Bands. Okay, so funny you say that, Comic Trips. Before the show, Baby asked me if I converted to a different religion here because he thought I was wearing a it's just a hat. It's just a hat backwards, but I guess because it's gray, it just sort of looks like that. No, it's
like
just that I need a haircut is what it really is. But you know what?
It didn't look bad. It didn't look bad.
You can't really even see my hair very well. It kind of blends into the shelf. But yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I think it kind of makes a huge difference to a lot of people for those kinds of reasons. Murdoch here says, my mother says comic books were probably the best thing outside of the family to happen to me. I have a learning disability, diagnosed ADHD, and comic books are the reason I can read. That's a very powerful story, and it's something that a lot of people share. A story that I'm going to share from one of our viewers a little bit later is actually related to that same kind of topic. And I'm glad that comics were able to help you. Queen says, I'm more of the movies and shows. Reading sucks for me even for comic books, but I know the whole multiverse. My own daughters are named after X-Men, Mystique, and Jean. That's right. I remember you saying that once now. Yeah, so and that's fantastic. Jean's one of my favorite characters of all time as well. So that's really cool that you named your kiddos after that. That's awesome. Yeah, I always like that my daughter's name is Kaylee, and I always her initials ended up being KAL, so Cal. So I always thought it was kind of fun because like Cal-El it's kind of worked in there a little bit almost, So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, my wife was like, she knew I was a huge comic nerd. She's like, we're not naming our kid after any comic characters. So I'm like, okay, well, how about mythology? And she's like, okay. And well, I worked in Orion, so I didn't let her know it was a comic character.
That's awesome. Definitely gave a fellow kids, but damn it, Jay. Yeah, I just wear my hat backwards because if I wear it forward, I usually end up with a shadow over my eyes.
I like
and,
Tropes' first quote that you look like a genetically handsome man.
yeah, well, that's what I but generically, it's even better. Thanks, Chris. Um, I think that the idea that comics can change lives is fun to talk about. We can definitely get into it a little bit, but I think the more interesting question, still Ansem, thank you, man. The more interesting question to me is, can it change the world? And I almost argue that maybe it already has in some ways.
I would say it already has. Yeah.
Yeah. Depends on your definition, of course. But I did maybe Action Comics 1 changed the world.
It did.
Introducing superheroes to the mainstream. Captain America in the war effort in World War II. I mean, that's there's a connection there. I think that in a more you could argue that the collective effect of a bunch of people's lives being changed by escapism and having an outlet could have changed the world. But there's a story that I want to share, and this comes to us from Richard. You've seen him in the chat many times. He's helped out with Heroes for Heroes and our charity efforts before. He shared a story with us, and he gave me permission to share it, and I think it's extremely powerful. So I'm going to read what he sent us about his experience with comic books. And he said, "Can comics change the world?" He's got a little bit of a backstory. He says that when he was a child, he couldn't read. Going back to what Murdoch said, comics got me to read. Fast forward to 2010, when I was studying in China, I came across an article that talked about world deaths due to mosquito-carrying diseases, all of which we have cures to. I used this silly idea to use bug zappers to protect the almost always poor areas that are affected using solar power. Well, the idea was praised by my teachers in school, and he pursued this invention during and after when he graduated. He created the machine and sold it to farmers to kill the bugs that spread those diseases in agriculture. So he used the profits to donate the same machines to Africa, South America, Southeast Asia, and areas that are high on mosquito disease carrying deaths. He pointed out, can comics change the world? And he pointed out it can inspire people to help change the world. I mean, I think that what he's talking about there, first of all, shout out to Richard for doing something that is, I mean, that's a pretty transformative thing to do. You're trying to stop, diseases like malaria and all the other terrible diseases that mosquitoes can carry. You're trying to help crops too, in areas that are affected by that. And not only that, he took the profits and put it back in to helping other areas of the world that are even more affected. Insane props for doing that, Richard. That's crazy.
I will go a step further and shout out to Richard that part of that story that you just shared, he told me that he has continued to follow through with that, continually reinvesting the money that is made from that into helping the other areas of the world to stop people from dying from malaria and all those other things, right? And to his detriment, not taking the money for himself, just he's refused to. He only puts it back into buying more of those because of his commitment to this idea. He's just Richard, in mad respect, buddy. I mean, we've talked about it, and you're an awesome dude.
Here's a picture of one of those bug zappers, by the way, which is, it's just really cool to see.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Look at all the bugs it's killed underneath it. You see the little tray underneath there. It's like, wow. Right?
So really working and doing his job. Just crazy in a good way. And it's clear evidence to me that it definitely can help. He was nice enough to bring up a couple other things too, which we've talked about both in different ways tonight. Comics Curing Cancer, the event that happens every year, put on by those wonderful guys like Rob's Fat Stacks and DJ Links and Legion of Comics. They raise money for cancer research and the American Cancer Foundation. And then he was nice enough to mention Heroes for Heroes as well, where we raise money to help prevent veterans from suffering from mental illnesses with the charity Mission 22. So can comics change the world? I think absolutely they can change the world. To me, it's obvious, and I see it all the time, and it's one of the reasons that I like to share, with people about reading comic books and loving comic books and trying to get kids to read comic books, because I think that some of those ideas definitely help. They definitely affect people.
But I mean, like, one of my favorite books growing up in junior high school and high school was X-Men, and like just reading, like, it helped form my thought processes on discrimination and stuff, and like, seeing those books where Kitty Pryde is standing up to, like, a big group of big, jock jerks that are being mean to some, nerdy little mutant that doesn't, deserve to be picked on or whatever, that kind of stuff. It's just like standing up for what's right, and not letting people be discriminated against just for who they are, so
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do either one of you have a $1 bill on you? I found a hidden Batman on it today.
I don't have a dollar bill on me. I don't have my wallet. It's in the other room.
I feel like I'm being trolled.
I think so too.
Comic Shop again. Richard says thanks, and I'm just gonna fire back. Thank you, Richard, for what you did and for sharing that story and allowing us to share it too. After they brought comics to the big screen, it's helped break down some of the walls within the status quo. I literally can ask anyone from any clique, DC or Marvel, and they will answer. Yeah, that's true. It's one of those things that I mean, I certainly remember. I didn't care because I'm kind of a dummy about going around and making myself a target for certain things. But if you liked comic books in the late '80s or whatever, you probably didn't want to go around advertising it too much. If you wanted to maintain your status quo or your social status or whatever, because it was, it depended on which circles you ran in, but definitely I saw people get made fun of for it. Think about the Hellfire Club in Stranger Things. That's a pretty good example of the kind of stuff that they faced. It happens.
Cool to be a nerd nowadays, but it wasn't cool back then. That's for sure.
And yeah, it's just one of those things where I think for a while there in the early 2000s, or I guess kind of the 2010 or whatever, it felt like the nerdier you were, the more you got like questions. So is this in this movie? Is this the good one? Or something like, people wanted information from you. And Murdoch says maybe not change the world, but can change a world. Interesting. I like that. No troll. Turn it so the bill is sideways, and $1 reading on the left side, top to bottom. The E is Batman's face, and the D is the Batmobile from the top, looking down.
Okay.
Am I gonna have to Google a $1 bill now because I don't have one on me? In this economy, having a $1 bill on you, Chris? Come on. So on the front or the back? That's what I didn't catch.
E is Batman's face, and the D is the Batmobile. The top.
I'm gonna have to turn my head sideways because I can't rotate this image. The bat's in my wall on the front. Okay.
On the front.
So the bill is sideways with the $1 reading on the left. Okay, so the $1 would be on the left.
Share your screen there, Chris.
Well, I can, but it's not going to be the right orientation, which is why I'm tilting my head.
Tilting your head.
And it's also a very small picture. Okay, and the E is Batman's face.
And the D is the Batmobile facing down. E and D.
I don't know, man. I don't see it, but.
Oh, I see it. I see Batman's face. It's so it's the E on the bottom. The two dots on the before the side are his eyes, the other dot is his nose. So the E is in the top, the little wings coming off of the E are his ears. I see the Batman face.
Weird.
It's
Okay.
like lighting from above where the eyes are darkened, so they're kind of like black sockets, and then under the nose. It's totally Batman's cowl. You're right, Chris. You're right. Yeah. So the E.
We're talking about this E, right?
That E right there. Yeah. So you look at it sideways. So the two dots by the middle.
Oh, okay. I see it now. I see it, and then the Batmobile is like a top-down Batmobile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I see it there. Yeah. No.
Okay. I think that was the hard part, is I was trying to put them together too much or whatever.
Yeah, the E by itself is just the cowl. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's like his nose, and there's like his little ears or whatever that people want to call them.
Yeah, and then the two dots are his
Horns.
eyes. Yeah.
And then there's the windshield of the Batmobile.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. All right. I see it. I see it.
Chris.
Nice to know that you've taken up smoking a lot of weed, Chris.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm trying to half quoting like Half Baked there, where it's like a classic thing. It's like, did you ever look at a $1 bill, man? Did you ever look at a $1 bill on weed? And he's like, there's the sniper in the bushes. What's going on there? Like Jon Stewart or something.
Yeah.
He sees comics in everything. There you go. You brought it back. Red team go. Red team go. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, did you have any other thoughts on this topic, man?
Yeah. Well, I would say not. So I kind of feel like that not only so it kind of comes full circle. Can it change the world? Well, I feel a responsibility for how comics has changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
To help comics change other people's lives, to share that love of comics with everyone else. And I feel like we should, how it's helped us to improve our lives. We should try to help, future generations or other people who, may enjoy that or have an interest in that. Yeah. Experience that. And so like, again, just today going through those boxes of comics, I put together a big bag of comics for two of the people at work for their kids, because it was just like, oh, they'll like this, they'll like that. This is going to be good, and a lot of it's like it's stuff that collectors aren't going to really care. It's they're well loved books. They're some really cool Bronze Age, beat up Batmans, or I had a Silver Age Superman that the cover was falling off of, but I just put some tape on it, and I'm like, he's gonna love reading it. So,
you engaged in amateur restoration? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yes, I did. It's a little Scotch tape. I was like, man, at this point, it had some writing, and the cover was completely split and falling off, and I was like, whatever, hold it together and let him enjoy it. So, but yeah, I mean, that I think like 100%. We have a responsibility to help others, to help comics change the world. It can be a tool for us for positivity, to help teach those things. Like a lot of people, I learned to read from comics as well. So like my parents at one point, I loved comics so much as a little kid, and they were like, until you can prove to us that you can actually read these things, we're not going to buy them for you anymore. And in a very short order, I learned I could read the books to them and continue getting books because I loved them so much. So I just feel like there's so many ways. We've seen people donating comics to charities, to like Dornbecker's Children's Hospital and stuff and everything, and that kind of stuff. Heroes for Heroes, we're helping veterans out, and so many veterans that we talk to love comics because it's an escape, right? So I mean, I just think that it can change the world even more with our help.
For sure. No, and I think that's a really great point to bring up, is passing it on. We live in a time where it's funny in a way, because in our family, reading is a big deal. So It's not really a problem for us. But you look around and you see that a lot of kids don't read.
Right.
With so much visual video entertainment out there, so much everything from YouTube to streaming services to all the stuff that they like to interact with. And reading has definitely seemed to be deprioritized. I think some kids still love to read. Don't get me wrong. I know they do,
Mhm.
but comic books have always been a great gateway into reading. And it's funny. I know there was a stigma against them. Just like we were talking about comics not being cool for a long time earlier in the chat. There's also a time where reading comic books wasn't viewed as an educational pursuit. But those of us that read comic books, I mean, reading enough X-Men comic books when you're a kid at a certain young enough age, and you got Beast firing off 30-letter words every other bubble, you
Right,
learn new
right.
vocabulary. You learn how to tell a story. You learn about different types of storytelling techniques and different tropes that can help you understand other forms of fiction. There's a lot in there that can really help educate the world.
Mhm.
And we usually talk about comic books in a very strict Western comic books, but I'll apply that to manga as well. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
It's and which is still more popular than comics with a lot of kids. But yeah, those things definitely help them out. 100%.
yeah.
100%.
And I mean, then all the different ways that fundraising is done with them, and yeah, it's just there's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's kind of it's incontrovertible that the comic books can change lives. Whether or not they can change the world, I think they can with through those small steps of helping people.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe there wasn't as much to this topic as I thought, because we just totally agree, and it's just it's all pretty.
There's not much to disagree about, I don't think. I mean, could they? I mean, can you flip it on its head? Can comics be a negative force? Yeah, you could have some stuff that could be.
I'd love to hear about it.
You could have some stuff that would be very divisive and hate inspiring and stuff. People could
Yeah,
use
that's
comics
true.
for propaganda to spread their own agenda, right? But,
Yeah,
we don't see that too much, but you hear about people getting upset about how writing is being used to twist a certain character to spread a certain agenda, or
well,
that kind
yeah,
of thing. So,
that's true. Yeah,
so, but yeah, I mean,
but just like any type of fiction or media out there, there's going to be examples of that.
right, yeah.
So I don't think it's.
I was just trying to take a look at the topic and flip it on its head and see how.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
See what falls out.
Yeah. I think to the comment of people that maybe get addicted to collecting, I think that could be a pitfall, perhaps. Yep, exactly what Dungeon Crawler Kevin's saying there. That's true. You don't see a lot of people talking about eating comic books anymore, Chris. Which ones would taste the best? That's good question. I guarantee you, the freaking modern comic books are not going to taste as good as that old newsprint. That new old newsprint,
Right.
just more wood pulp content in there, I bet.
Right.
Less ink.
I mean, that even you take that step even further. Like, comics have taught me about economics and learning to hustle and make a buck as a kid, and grow my collection that way. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot you can learn. A lot, and you can learn as a kid. You can learn the reading aspect, the community aspect of friends who also enjoy the same thing, that kind of thing. So,
Agreed.
It got to affect the taste.
It's got to. It can be good. I know that. And you would think that the older paper would have leached off more of the acid. I think that would be good.
Some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like that might be kind of most of the topic for us. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think that I mean, we can invite other people to chime in with their own thoughts in the chat. I mean,
always.
You can always pick Jay's brain. I'm sure we can always put him on the spot. But yeah, I don't want to drag things out of people if we pretty much covered it. But yeah, there are so many ways. I think it's just how you choose to look at things, and and how you choose to use what's given to you, and if you feel inspired to,
Yeah.
then pass that along. So
Yeah, they could relate the slabs, or as we call them, the crunchy edition.
Pop Tart.
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Nope? How's it going?
Nope. Hey.
Any book that has glue is tasty. See, you got to ask a science snake if you really want the true answer. Yeah. Well, on that note, we'll kind of give it a second here, see if anybody chimes with anything. Do you have anything coming up this week that people need to know about, Mr.
I'm
Bigby?
going to be doing a video about that collection that I picked up at the yard sale. Was it a week ago? So I'll be doing a video about that. Just kind of filmed some highlights of that this afternoon. What else is going on? Oh, we got Rose City Comic Con this weekend, right?
Yeah. On Saturday, Big B and I will be at Rose City Comic Con in Portland, Oregon at the convention center. If you see us, please come up and say hi if you want to.
Yeah. Along with Comics Limited will be there as well. And
Nice.
I don't know, is Trope still in the room? Are you going to be there, Chris?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going or not this year. We might have just got him on the rare time last time.
Right. But yeah, it should be fun to tool around, meet people, and spread the joy of Heroes for Heroes.
Yep,
people
absolutely. Biggest reason it seems like I go most years is to see if we can kind of get some donations and meet up with people.
I'm absolutely not going to go shopping. I'm going just to have fun with my friends and hang out, and we'll meet some other community members. And speaking of changing the world and positivity, right? I mean, that's great just to meet up with everyone, and we go out for a bite or whatever and talk about how everyone's doing. Hey, Christina, our friend Christina.
What's up?
Generator of the Hearts idea.
And then looks like we probably won't be running into comic shops since you just found out it's this
okay
weekend.
Yeah, it is this weekend. So
but yeah, if you're going to be there or thinking about going there, I know they had a lot of cool celebrity guests and comic guests and stuff like that too. So definitely worth checking out if you're in the area. And again, we'd love to run anybody that wants to come up and say hi. Don't be afraid to. I usually bring stickers and stuff with me, and always down for a photo and that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good way to put it, for sure. The best part about comics is the people I've met along the way. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I love it. All right. Well, on that note, I think it's going to be kind of a shorter, rare, short edition of Best Coast Comics. I'm starting to feel like I could be getting a little bit of a cold, so I'm sure I can benefit from ending it a little early tonight. Try to get healthy for this weekend. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. So we're going Saturday, Chris.
Yep.
Saturday only. So kind of worked out. It's actually my birthday too. So
hey,
kind of fun way to spend a birthday. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have a new topic next week at 8 p.m. Pacific on Best Coast Comics. Probably actually that new topic will mostly be recapping the con, is my guess.
Right.
A lot of that, plus our community artwork and our news that we're going to talk about as well. So yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Mm-hmm.
I will be looking for a copy of X-Men 43 at the show, just because I like to try to pick up a copy of I'm going to be turning 43, so I look for X-Men 43. If I don't have that issue already, it's kind of the one I try to grab.
Very cool.
So,
Very cool.
I'll look for that probably. Yeah, it'd be fun to run into you, and I know a lot of other people will be there. Some pretty cool guests too. So
we always run into people. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And then I always miss people that I like. Adrian will be like, "I was there." I was like, "How did I not see you?"
Yeah. Definitely have 20. Yeah, 23. There you go. Yep.
It's like 23.
Subtract 20, you get the real age. But yeah, we'll catch you next week on next week's episode of Best Coast Comics. Until then, have a great week, everybody.